special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
The Neon Garage is live and active, and we are ready to go racing from Sin City, USA. It is the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is race number 2 of the iRacing Gen 4 Series, about to go green for one of the longer races that this series has seen in a little while. We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes, as that guy looks on kind of curiously. Interesting shirt color. Got some muscles there, too. Anyways, I'm the Captain. We welcome you in on this Tuesday evening as 110 laps of racing about to be put to work here for these guys in the Gen 4 car after a pretty wild opener at Michigan Speedway that saw Casey Carrington go to victory lane. Tonight, we will likely see a second winner in 2 races because Casey Carrington has backed off and is now running part-time this season after his championship run last season, so he's not here tonight, but we have got a pretty good crew of cars that are looking to go to victory lane here this evening, race number 2 of this series here on this 1.5 mile Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So, tell you what, Michigan last week, we saw a lot of action out there on the track. We saw some passing for the lead. We saw fuel strategy, pit strategy, cautions. We had it all out there last week, and today I think we're going to see the same thing here, as obviously time is kind of going to fly past us a little bit here as qualifying is about to start with the 4X setting for the lights and so on and so forth. Probably going to go into some night racing here before it's over with, but either way, I think we're going to see some fantastic stuff here tonight in Las Vegas. This track is slick. It is fun. It's wearing tires out. And yes, the Coleman Cam is here again tonight. It's going to make its debut in the Gen 4 car coming up here in, very shortly as we get ready to start qualifying here for these cars. They'll get 2 laps as per usual. They'll get their get up to speed lap and so on and so forth as the cars get out here on the track. And first car, one of the first cars we're going to see getting out there is going to be the 00 Jacob Bowen, who's got a very interesting paint scheme on his car here, as he is rocking I was looking at this thing earlier, the Hungry Hussy. I'm not sure what that is, but all part of J. Bowen Media and so on and so forth as he takes a 00 across the line. A little bit shades of the Haas paint scheme that Jack Sprague ran back in the day in the 00 car. That kind of has that little look to it. As Bowen goes down the back straightaway into turn 3 and 4. 18 to 20 degrees of banking around this mile-and-a-half track. Very fast, as mentioned. And he'll be one of the first to cross the line, along with Kyle Ethier. Giroux there up to second as Cornwell jumps up there, as all these cars are running on track at the same time. They just don't see each other. .29.838, the fast lap right now, as these guys come across the line to complete lap number 2. 6 cars have gotten a lap in so far here in the first 5 minutes. Bowen goes 30.12, which is actually slower on lap 2. Cornwell goes faster, so does Ethier, so does Eurykio, up to a 29.69. As more cars now starting to get out here and run a lap. Here's Telder. Apparently a lot of pressure on Telder tonight, as he was telling me he's a Detroit Red Wings fan, being from Michigan, and they're in a win and get in playoff type of deal right now. Apparently they have to win and Washington has to lose, and he has decided to show up tonight. Good for him on doing that. 29.93, and he's P5 right now after his run. Ty Young to the top, 29.68 with a 4. Edges out Ethier. And Roethlisberger, who's making his debut in the series. No, not Ben. This is Zach Roethlisberger in the Goodwrench 29. Runs a 6.60. And he is now P1, knocking off Ty Young as other cars coming onto the track. Here's Craig Martin spinning across turn 4. Not good for him. Dominic Russo on track. Russo's P6. Mertz across the line. Stephen Melnick rocking a different paint scheme here tonight. The Chippendales car. Not the male dancers either. The actual Chippendales. As Miles and Ramsey log a lap. Melnick drifting up the track here a little bit. Got himself a 1.5 mile win at Charlotte a couple seasons ago in this car. Miles completes the second lap. He's P5, 29.7. Here's Devin Ramsey. Alex Bryson out there on the track also. And Lewis is too busy in chat not to realize there's a name apparently of a non-registered guy in chat in the race. That just ran a 31.12 or 30.12. Alex Bryson, here he is in the 38 car. Bryson bringing it off turn 4 into the start-finish line. And jumps to 5th, 29.71. Good lap there. And everybody else is pretty much done running their laps. The only 2 qualifiers not to run a lap. Aaron Beaver and Chris Lewis. Colby Wells wasn't able to finish his lap. As Roethlisberger goes to the pole, and we go trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag toss that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, we get ready to go racing here at the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway and iRacing. Let's get you the starting lineup here as Zach Roethlisberger makes his debut in that 29 car and puts his car on the pole, 29.660. He'll start next to Ty Young there in the 28, making his first start of the season, missed last week at Michigan. Kyle Ethier and Josh Dillon, they're in row number 2. Good lap for the 88 car. Alex Bryson, Stephen Miles, row 3. Kevin Ramsey, Randy Cornwell, row 4. Zach Mertez, Stephen Melnick, a top 10 start for the 1 car. Christine, Matt Telder, they're row 7, row 8. Brandon Alf and Daniel Giroux. Craig Martin and insert name here in the 18th position. Jacob Bowen and Clement Downing take row 10. Row 11, Colby Wells, Chris Lewis, Aaron Beaver, the 23rd and final starter. Race information tonight. 110 laps voted by the drivers in a vote between 4 different laps in the race. They voted 110, so that's what we'll do tonight. 50% fuel, 3 sets of tires, and a partridge in a pear, 26% humidity. Track temp already at 101 degrees. And I'm being told that driver, by the way, is David Stringle. So the good news is I have cool technology that allows me to go in and edit that name. As pace car, gonna hang a left right about now. And into the hands of Mr. Barney, who leads him to the green flag. Roethlisberger and Ty Young as we see green in Vegas. Our camera is presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. Everybody clean and green as we complete lap 1. Seeing the pressure right there in the second position already. That's Alex Bryson right there. Kyle Ether up to the 3rd position as they stay side by side. Dillon hanging on there strong. Randy Cornwell with a good start. As you're going to see these cars spread out from the bottom all the way up to the top of the track is right on cue. Bryson climbs the boards and he is going to look for the lead to the outside. So he is not wasting time and letting those tires rip. Stephen Miles starting to work his way up there through the field. Pardon me for pausing it for a second. I was getting the name fixed. It should fix itself here any moment on the timing and scoring. As we complete lap 4 already, everybody in a pretty tight pack for the most part. Melnick has fallen back. Must have had a rough start there. Aaron Beaver also just kind of hanging back. Those guys might be in more of a tire saving mode. This car is kind of dancy a little bit out there, and Casey, hope you're not offended by what I'm about to tell everybody, but I mentioned a little bit ago during the pre-race that there is a debuting camera tonight. I debuted it over in the Sim 500 series in the next-gen car, and it seems to look pretty solid, so I'm going to bring it out here tonight, and I think we're going to need it, especially with the stinting of tires this evening. But we welcome you to what I call the Coleman Cam, named after Mr. Chad Coleman, who showed me this idea actually when he was, it's Craig Martin's up in the wall. He was showing me tire wear once during a pit stop. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I was like, well, this would be good for the broadcast. So here we go, the Coleman Cam. We'll keep an eye on these tires. This is Brandon Alton's right front tire right now. And basically, you'll watch later on, we could see some cords. We could see some debris on the tires and so on and so forth. But right now, tire looking pretty solid after about 7 laps. But if you were watching the broadcast last night, you might have seen me show one of the cars actually have a little bit of cord showing in the next-gen car. Bryson leading right now by 0.3 of a second. That would be the left rear camera. It's the one of the dashboard, right side. The one that you would see on the NASCAR website if you watch onboard cars. So everybody lined up single file here. About 25 to 30 laps on a tank of fuel here with the 50% fuel. Of course, these cars with high horsepower eats a lot of fuel, especially as you're under throttle most of the way. Randy Cornwell coming off a good truck finish on Thursday night last week. We ride with him in the 22 car, the helmet cam. You see Zach Mertes up to that second lane in that yellow 02 car. Cornwell getting a run on the driver that beat him to the line at Michigan. Kyle Ethier there. As you see Stephen Miles now working his way to the second position. I was definitely watching the lap times in practice, and you could see that Miles and a few others were working a lot on the long run speed of these cars. With 110 laps, 3 sets of tires, if you're able to go 25, you're likely going to double stint at least one set, if not a second set of tires. And obviously with the less fuel, it kind of plays some games with the handling of this car. As Telder has gone around, brings the caution out. Turn 3. Some nose damage on that 10/23 car. Should we call it 2310? Happens here. He's got the David Stringle car on his outside there, and oh, he gets rooted into the inside wall and goes spinning. And a battle between 10 and 100, unfortunately, on the track. And right rear tire coming off completely off the ground. That's never good. As we got some pit stops here. We'll come back to the replay in just a second. It's doing its thing again. Kyle Ethier going to win the race off pit road, it looks like, of the cars. I had to reset the cameras real quickly, so forgive me for doing that, as this happens when you leave that app open a little too long. But pretty much Ty Young Josh Dillon, Ramsey, Dean, Eurykio, Stringle, Giroux, Melnick, Martin, and Beaver did not pit, or did he pit? He did pit, along with Downing and a few others. So it looks like a majority of cars came in and topped off the fuel. Under this caution, you see Ether and pretty much the whole field. All right, so let's I'll have to rewind this manually to show you the replay again, unfortunately, but we're going to do that. With Telder getting turned back here in the back straightaway. As we crash cam this thing. Just gets a run there and didn't really check up for the 10, just kind of nerfed him out of the way. Ah, the Leonardo car. Oh, the classic line. All right, coming back to the green. At lap number 14. Pace car pulls down. And Ethy are going to lead him to the start-finish line. Zach Mertes, Alex Bryson, Miles, and others. Starting to make moves back there. Colby Wells making his season debut in that 45 car. Josh Dillon there in the 88 looking to get himself another good run. Appreciate the viewers watching so far this evening. If you're new to the chat, you can, of course, hit that subscribe button. Give us a follow. If you're not new, we appreciate you coming back and joining us as you do each and every Tuesday night or whatever night you like to watch. If it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or Sunday. If you watch on Saturday, let me know what stream I got going, because I usually don't stream on Saturdays unless it's like AI or something. Oh, that would have been awesome if you could have played my custody in front of Casey's car. That would have been awesome. Casey Carrington trying to fit drivers into his 99 car. If it had been the 6 or the little country car or the 9 Ragoon car from back in the day, I would say maybe Aaron Crocker's available, but Lewis back here in the 111 car. Ty Young there, Randy Cornwell. Ty getting right down on that door of Cornwell, and then you see Brandon Alphin back there, the Dales Pools and Spa car. Good little time to get yourself a pool or a spa. Of course, it's always good to be in front of things. Obviously, if we're in the springtime, get the pool now so that come summertime you can do some swimming. Of course, if you're over in that Kentucky area, get a hold of Brandon Alphin. You might even come sing some Morgan Wallen to you while he's building the pool. Who knows? Oh, contact between he and Ty. And now Brandon's in the outside wall like he blew a tire or something. That's kind of weird looking. Brandon doing a good job of letting the guys go by before he pulls himself off the wall, because this wall will grab people. Roethlisberger in the 29, Mertez in the 02. You see Bryson and Miles. Of course, the pit stop's happening at lap 13 now, so this adds a little bit to that run. You'll probably see tires in the next pit stop get changed. Helder, unfortunately, a lap down, the only car a lap down now after the incident with David Stringle in the 100 car. So once again, a 10-race schedule this season for the series in season number 11. And this season, one of the big changes, just one drop instead of two like last season. So we're with the second drop, or with the one drop now this season, going to play a big role. If you have a rough race, that's going to be your one race, or if you miss a race, or so on and so forth. But obviously, you get Michigan last week, and in Dover, or Vegas tonight, Dover next week. And then we hit our super speedway at Daytona. It's out of the way. Unfortunately, off the pace here. Helder might be looking for birds. I'm just going to put that out there. This will tell me. Is he looking for Leo? And I'm not talking about Nick Leo. How did I know? Slams into him. And we stay green as Ethier is on pit road. Fuel only for the 8 right now after 23 laps as he pulls away. I don't think he really cared if he broke the Danica rule there or not, but, you know, it happens. Roethlisberger out to the front now, just got by, or with Ethier pitting, Roethlisberger takes the lead of this race. Battle for second as Miles looks inside. As Brandon Alphin now to pit road, going to try to get that damage fixed. And now caution comes out. And Aaron Beaver has brought the caution out front straight away. Beaver back here battling with Clement Downing. Good to see him back on track in the 59 car. And unfortunately, they hook each other. Just come together, unfortunately. One on the top side, one on the bottom side. In the trying to see what that says. Is that Query, Sauter and Associates or something like that? All right, pit stops for a lot of the leaders right here. Be a good test here. Let's check it out. How's our tires looking after 27 laps? I don't see much wear. We're looking okay, it looks like. Race off pit road. How about Josh Dillon going to take the lead? So Cornwell stays out. Dillon's going to end up beating Roethlisberger off pit road with what appears to be fuel only. Looks like Roethlisberger and Mertez with tires. Dean Russo fuel only. You'll be able to tell just pretty much by the times if somebody went fuel only or I would think not 2 tires yet. All right, so with the caution out, let's snoop over. And let's get Josh Dillon up here in the booth. Josh, you got a copy?
How you doing?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Getting ready to pit.
Again?
Well, we decided that we were going to come in and get fuel only, and if everybody else took tires, we'd come back in.
So I see what you're doing now. Okay, that's interesting strategy call there. So, obviously, your teammate there, Mr. Carrington, has decided he wanted to relax tonight and I don't know, drink mimosas or something. But we got to come up with a list of drivers we would like to see drive the 99.
Is this like a Project 91 type of thing?
Yeah. Because he mentioned Husby, obviously. I mean, I know a guy named Joseph that might be good.
Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Last name start with a P?
No, starts with an M.
Two different guys, I think.
Yeah, I think we are. But we'll have to talk about it off the air. I don't want to get in trouble for it. I'm sure he's going to yell at me already in chat here. How's the car feel?
Tight. Really tight in 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I guess that's kind of typical Vegas.
Yeah, 1 and 2 feels good. Going into 4, it just wants to push up into the wall.
Have you tried to straddle the seam at all?
Not yet, but that's the next step.
There you go. All right, man. Well, hey, appreciate the info. How what fuel mileage? How are we looking?
20 lap runs. Probably come back in at lap 50. I'm not too good at saving.
Nothing wrong with that. Money or gas, right? So, hey, buddy. Best of luck, man.
Thank you.
All right. That is Josh Dillon, as I'm sure Casey Carrington is now probably flipping a lid over in chat right now. What showtime? There it is. Oh, he's talking about Joseph Penn is who he was thinking. Okay, I'm like, who's Joe P? Okay, got it. Appreciate the viewers watching here tonight, of course. You can always check us out 6 nights a week here throughout the month of April. Only nights off Saturday right now, and obviously it takes in a special event or something, and I'll be on then. Likely, believe it or not, going to get back in the car this week. Haven't raced a race in a pretty while. Daytona, something like that. Well, I ran the Atlanta race the next week, but going to run Talladega NIS on Sunday in the afternoon. Going to bring out the Daytona car, see if I can go get 2 Speedway wins as Russo goes wee in the grass. Tire spin on worn out tires. As Roethlisberger, the first on 4 tires, going to go to the front. Mertez, the second. And this is where you'll definitely see comers and goers. You heard Dillon talk about how tight it is. Helder's still on pit road getting damage fixed, unfortunately. Mertes, Roethlisberger, Miles, and Wells, your top four now. Cornwell's fallen back to fifth. The first battle back here with Lewis and Alex Bryson, Ty Young, Christopher Dean. Oh, boy. So in other words, Telder is saying that he is watching the Red Wings play right now. Back here. Bowen in the 0-0. Battling with the 92 of Giroux. And there's the 8 of Kyle Ethier. Ethier got to be kind of patient here with this fuel-only strategy. And so cars that he might not be so used to running with here. Still got almost 70 laps to go in this race. As Mertes and Roethlisberger continue to battle here. Tying at 28, looking inside here on the 111. And he'll make that pass. There's Tom. Fight that wheel. So when you heard me ask Josh Dillon about running the seam in the interview, the reason why I brought that up is the banking here is progressive at Vegas. And one of the old tricks to getting around this track, and it can help free up the car a little bit, is running the progressive banking and braking, basically straddling the car on the seam, which is the separation of the banking. So by doing that, you're putting your right side of the car on a higher degree of banking than the left side. So what does that do? Well, think about driving down a highway, as I've talked about before, and you're on an uneven highway because of construction or something, and the car kind of feels weird, doesn't it? Well, you straddle that line a little bit, it actually pushes the weight to the left front of the car and allows the car to free up and turn and rotate. Not say it's going to work. You never know. As Roethlisberger back to the front now, battling with Mertes here. Colby Wells up to the third position there with Miles and Bryson. Young there up to the sixth position. Let's go back here. Is Eurykio in that 36 car. As Cornwell's going to come to pit road. Getting passed there by the 48 of Dean. Well, how many times have we seen that Lowe's Cobalt car go to victory lane in Vegas? And I'm not talking about Dean, I'm talking about Johnson. Jimmy Johnson. That battle here, and then now watching Wells and Mertes go at it here. Definitely love seeing the track spreading out here. That's tight. Cornwell 15.3 second stop, so he'll get out, and unfortunately he'll be a lap down here, but obviously, if he can play his cards right here, and he should be okay. You heard Dylan talk about 20 laps or so in a run, so probably about 10 more laps, you'll see cars coming to pit road and find out if they're going to get tires or not, and so on and so forth. As Giroux now putting the pressure on Dean. 42 laps in the books. On the Cup side of things, next, or this Thursday, of course, you have the Truck Series back in action. And they'll be at Chicagoland Speedway for race number 2 for their run. It's kind of an experiment race because it is a super speedway series, and you know, you might think Chicagoland's not super speedway style, but it can definitely bring the best out of the draft when you're out there racing on that surface, almost wide open for a while until that truck really starts to usually loosens up. But you never know with iRacing setups anymore. So we'll watch that race coming up on Thursday at 8:30 Eastern. Roethlisberger by about a 10th, and it's Mertes and it's Wells, and it's Miles, Bryson, Young, and Lewis. And then it's about a 3-second gap to Josh Dillon, who's back here into the 88 car. Brandon Alphin, unfortunately, is not on the lead lap after his pit stop there in the green flag run right before the caution. So he's hoping to get the lucky dog here and get himself back in position. Riccio and Dean battling. They had to adjust there for a second. Looked like almost some contact as Ramsey comes into play now, and here comes Ethier also. It seemed to get a little closer than I thought it was supposed to. Pretty much spreading out. Just watching this battle here with Ethier and Dean. Should see pit stops the next 3 to 5 laps. Matter of fact, Alphin's on pit road now. Very impressed how these cars here are not able to really separate themselves. The top 6 or 7 here. This draft in this car playing a pretty big role. As Jacob Bowen on pit road, the rookie in a 00 car. So starting to see the pit stops here. .4 for him, so he and Alphin been on pit road. And Kyle Ethier coming in. Let's investigate here. See how we look on the right front. Sorry. I thought you were on that team. I don't see too much wear. Looks like it's okay on the right front, so. So 4 tires and fuel for Ethier. What channel is Dylan supposed to be in? You're not on the same team as. Oh, I put him in there by himself. Whoopsies. I think he's okay now. Whoops. All right, more cars on pit road. Here comes the leader, Roethlisberger, Mertes, and others on pit road. Looks like fuel only here, potentially. Jesse Evans, you're not on Discord, sir, but I appreciate you watching. mean, if you are in Discord, cool. These guys leaving the pits now. Miles and others coming to pit road along with Bryson and Wells. So the one thing I'm catching out of this, I'm not seeing any tire wear really on the right front. I mean, you're seeing the wear of the cars, but not really, or the tire fall off, but not really seeing. I don't think we're running enough laps to get cords or anything like that, really. As Giroux now to pit road. '92 car. This is at lap number 52, so just shy of the halfway point in this race. So Drew's coming to pit road, and that gives the lead to Stephen Miles, who came out of pit road with fuel only. It looks like a lot of these top cars gone fuel only as Mertes going to swing by. Roethlisberger right there with him, but already done with this round of pit stops here as we're clean and green and coming to the halfway point next time by. Colby Wells about 9/10 of a second back from this battle. And you got Lewis, and then here's Bryson and Lewis right here for 5th and 6th. Ty Young also in this battle. Right behind, there he is. And Ty is actually the first car that's got fuel goods on it. He seems going blowing by these cars with the newer tires. So I'm not sure if Lewis is looking to do the whole lap thing each week. But obviously with the Dover race next week, we'll see if he puts a vote up for laps again. But tonight, obviously, 110 laps, a little bit longer than usual. I know last season we were doing like 85 laps. And obviously extend that out now. That's what, almost 25 more laps now in this race tonight. So ooh, Young had to adjust his lane there and get to the outside of Roethlisberger. He's already passed Miles and Mertes, and there goes the tires to the front. So Ty Young to the lead. Still looking for that first series win. He's gotten close many times. And now this is second season. He's got that rookie stripe off that 28 car. And now looking to put that thing in victory lane. Miles battling with Roethlisberger. Let's go back here to Josh Dillon, the 88 car. He's got Kyle Ethier right there in front. And then the unfortunate lap car of Brandon Alphin, who fell victim to that last caution as the yellow came out there. For the most part, everybody kind of spreading out here. The main battle on the track is right here for second, as Roethlisberger, Miles, and Mertes going at it here. kind of speeds are rocking. It's like the next thing that iRacing needs to work on as they go through so by for this car is obviously, yes, you want to get try to get as close as the Gen 4 specs as possible, but we have to get the old rubber band effect of the engine. Because you go back in the day and watch these cars race. Michigan's my biggest example. These cars would be going 92 to 9600 down the straightaways, but yeah, when they slowed down, it would fall to what, 5,000-6,000 RPM. That was the reason why Michigan, Auto Club, those kind of tracks were like the biggest for engine expiration, because of the rubber band of the motor basically going up and down RPM wise. In this car, you listen there, I mean, he dropped down to 150 mile an hour and it felt like he was still going 8,000 RPM. So now everybody really starting to kind of get spread out here. 63 laps complete. It's going to be the first. We can get to the next round of pit stops. It's going to be the longest consecutive green flag run we've had when it comes to multiple pit stops in a green flag cycle here. So we'll try to get another look at the tires and see how some of the cars look as they come to pit road here in about 5 to 10 laps. Again, appreciate the viewers watching here this evening. Lewis, of course, checked in earlier. Dylan Rosenberg and his messaging. Aaron Thomas, hello to you, sir, as always. Jesse Evans checking in. Carrington was watching earlier. Dude Telder apparently has a check to cash here shortly. Nestor Diaz saying hello. Josh Dillon, apparently I moved him in the wrong channel. But if you're watching on YouTube, we appreciate you tonight. Hit that subscribe button. By the way, I did a short today for the first time on YouTube. Gonna try to do one each day when I'm on break at work. Not sure like what I want to do with it yet. I'm kind of curious to see, like, I guess it's kind of like a TikTok, so to say, but YouTube's version. And you know, I'm still debating. Maybe I put the finish of a race in shorts or something like that. I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the right thing to do here. I want to, obviously, the viewers have another thing they can check out off the air when I'm not on or whatever. If it's just the finish of a race or something, or just got to see how long it would take to put something. Oh, Ether just crushed the wall right in front of, or right beside Colby Wells. That beer can obviously took a shot. So Ethier now, even though he knocked the wall down, he was able to pass Bryson with tires. But Ty Young is driven out to a 7.4 second lead now on the Freshies. As Alfin now comes back to pit road here. Let's actually use him here as our example. Let's see what this 21 looks like as he gets stopped. I mean, I don't see anything terrible on it. I mean, you can see a little bit of darkness there, maybe from a little less tread. But I don't see any kind of... He's actually going to go back out, so we might have a triple stint here from Alfin. All right, we'll come back in 20 laps and check these guys again. And again, I'm still working on that, so that camera might not be set up right either. If you go back and watch last night's stream of the Sim 500 League, you'll definitely get some look of, like, all the rubber that was on the tires at the end of the race, or at the end of runs last night. That was pretty phenomenal to see. as Ethier Roethlisberger are going to come to the pit road. So here we go with more green flag cycling at lap 70. Still got 40 laps to go. Tires for the 29. I think I see tires for the 8. And they both roll away. Ty Young, Stephen Miles down the pit road. Young with fuel only as he pulls away. Miles in. And he is going to go tires, it looks like. As Mertes, Ramsey, and Wells come to pit road. Now all you got to do is look right here for those seeing this for the first time. You look right here in the middle, you'll see what laps they've pitted on. So you'll see where Young is pitted at 70, others at 50. There's 71 as Ramsey overshoots his pit stall. So you'll be able to see who's pitted already and who hasn't during this cycle. And then obviously by the times, you'll be able to determine, 99% determine that somebody's on tires or fuel only. Comes Bryson Lewis Giroux on pit road also. Melnick leaving the pits in that one car. And there goes Bryson taking off. Mentioned Giroux on pit road, so is Lewis and Mertes. Now Dean coming to pit road with Eurechio. And this should finish out the stops. Clement Downing on pit road now again. That's going to hand the lead back over to Ty Young, who goes past Melnick. And he's going to have 5.5 seconds, but the problem is he didn't take tires, and Roethlisberger did. So now these cars up here that took tires are now running down the leader, just like the leader ran away a little bit ago. It's all part of strategy. As Colby Wells has ran the fastest lap of the race, first guy to go 29.93. Let's check out the weather real quickly, because obviously with time going 4x here, we're only at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it looks like here, so we actually might not go to the dark time, which is still another 4 hours out, and we've got 30 laps to go. 99-degree track temp, 75 ambient. As they go by Bowen in the 00 to put him, I believe that's 1 lap down for him. Let's go back here. Battle for the 8th position is Dillon. Going to go by Cornwell. Going to bring Lewis with him. Where's fresh tires are just reeling in the 28 really quickly. And I'm watching that number sink. Let's go back here, check on these guys here. Melnick and Eurechio Or, I'm sorry, it's Beaver in the 97, getting him into 36 mixed up. Melnick in that Chip and Dale's car. One of the many cartoons I do remember watching when I was younger. I think DuckTales on the right side there. So actually, it's got a few cartoons on that car. And DuckTales, I thought I saw Chip and Dale at one point on the left side. The only thing he's missing is Darkwing Duck, and we're covered. There's Roethlisberger leading Ether, and you see right out front, there is the rabbit, if you will, of Ty Young in that 28 car. So 81 laps complete as we're seeing Beaver and Cornwell come to pit road. Whoa, somebody diving to the inside there. I think that's Mertez. Had to launch all the way to the inside of Cornwell there as he was just coming off pit road, I believe. And we'll have to check on Mertez here. He has fallen all the way back to 16th. I did not see what happened to the 0-2. But I've come to notice he is way back here now, and lost a lot of positions and just lost the lead lap, it looks like, there in the 0-2. And I do see that damage on the right front, so let me see if I can work my way back here and find what potentially happened to the 0-2. Back to the front is Ethier and Miles battle. Roethlisberger right there behind Mertez, as I mentioned. Here's Mertez on pit road. He had a regular stop. Unless he had a second stop or something like that. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. I did not catch it. I'll have to go back and look. But here's Devin Ramsey having a good run inside of Ty Young for 8th. He'll take that spot away. Roethlisberger trying to hold Miles off now. 24 to go. That final round of pit stops should be coming up in the next 4 laps or so. And it's going to get interesting because here's where we're going to see Brandon Alphin come to pit road. I'm really curious to see what this right front tire looks like now on this 21 car. Actually, Ty Young's will be the first to pit road with 22 to go. And a short pit here and try some undercut maybe. Oh, and he overshoots his pit stall a little bit. Is Ethier now on pit road? Meanwhile, up front here, Miles going for the lead with Roethlisberger. And he's going to get it. As Jacob Bowen comes to pit road and Roethlisberger comes to pit road. From the second position. All right, here's Alphin to pit road. Overshoots his pit stall a little bit, and yeah, I'm not seeing anything. You can see the darkness there, but nothing really. Yeah, see how the tread changed colors there a little bit. So nothing too much, it looks like. I could probably get us a better angle on that, but again, experiment. We're trying. Always trying to improve things on the Captain Esports Network. That's what I do. What can I say? I try. As Ramsey, Giroux, Melnick, Miles all to pit road here. With 19 laps to go. As AB comes to pit road in the 38 car. Everybody here is pretty much taking tires from what I'm seeing. And that hands the lead to the Chris's. Lewis and Dean up front now. And who can put themselves into position with the tires to gain the most time here? Bryson, a little bit of right front damage there, I'm noticing on the 38. All right, Lewis to pit road. There's Russo to pit road. Now Mertz is back on pit road here in the 02 car. Obviously, long green flag run here. Had a couple cautions early in the race. It's cleared itself up, and we've seen some strategy come into play. And not sure if this is what the fields wanted, but this is what they said in Discord chat earlier. If they wanted to do lap-wise, is make the race a little bit longer, and that's what we've gotten tonight. 16 laps to go. Dean goes to pit road, and the leader now is going to be Kyle Ethier. And he is going to have about 0.7 of a second over Zach Roethlisberger and about another 0.3 back to Miles, who just ran the fastest lap of the race. Colby Wells back to 4th. He's a good 2.5, almost 3 seconds back here. Alex Bryson up to 5th, and then Devin Ramsey 6th. And he's got Ty Young chasing him down. Ty, unfortunately, get 3.5 seconds back here from these guys. So it looks like right now as Dean has got issues and has spun over here in turn 2. keeps it along the inside wall. We stay green. Looks like he might have had a whoopsies coming off pit road. He's here trying to put that Bud machine into victory lane. Roethlisberger trying to win his first start. Miles, of course, trying to add on to his winning totals with iRacing. Everybody's pretty spread out now. As there's Miles, and then back here, here's Colby Wells in the fourth position right now. And he's got about 2.5 seconds back. There's Alex Bryson, fifth position there in the 38 car. Devin Ramsey, that blue number 9, looking pretty solid here tonight. Sixth position. There's Ty Young in the 7th position. Got to lead some laps here a little bit. Good season debut there for the McSwiggins car. Lewis up in the 8th position. One of the biggest movers in the race, matter of fact, up 14 spots. Colby Wells up 17. Josh Dillon in the 9th position, the 88 car, looking pretty solid here tonight. Here's Randy Cornwell, the 22 car. Randy in the 10th position. David Stringle in the Leo DiCaprio car in the 11th position as Cornwell gets a little loose there off 4. And he's going to lose a couple of spots as Giroux's going to go by with Stringle. And Craig Martin in his triple 2 car running 13th. Melnick there in the 1 car. As caution's going to come out. Caution on the track. And it's Cornwell that has spun out. Who, if anyone, has a set of tires left? Remember I've always said you want to have a set of tires at the end of the race? Looks like Aaron, trying to see 110. Looks like Melnick's going to get the wave around. See what happens to the 22 car. Saw him buzz the right front tire there through 3 and 4, and then back end just comes around through 1 and 2. It's going to be a handful. Caution out. And I see 1 car coming to pit road. That's Stringle in the 100. Is he the car that has a set of tires left? So can Ethier hold off the newcomer, Zach Roethlisberger, Steven Miles, Colby Wells, and these guys here, or are we going to start wrecking a little bit here? As had some fantastic racing here tonight. We should get the green somewhere around 5 laps to go. I appreciate everybody again checking us out here tonight. And a reminder, we'll be back Thursday at Chicagoland Speedway for the TI Truck Series. All right, here we go, coming to the green. We'll have 5 laps to go as mentioned. Who's going to pull out race number 2 here tonight? As Ethier on the pedal, here we go. Look at the wheel spin coming into play. Looked like at first Ethier was going to get the jump, but then all of a sudden he spun the tires, and cars got even closer to him. As Miles going to clear for second through 1 and 2. Ethier going to climb that top side here, trying to hold that momentum. He's still at the quarter as Roethlisberger almost made a move there. And Ethier right rears the wall, but he's okay. It looks like he's going to hold on to second. Miles to the lead. Roethlisberger now to second as they come to 3 to go. Oh, Bryson up in the outside wall as cars scatter. Zach climbing up a groove here, trying to get that run off the top, or the middle, I should say. Crossover to the bottom, 2 to go. He's there. Miles able to hold him off there in that middle groove. They will come through 3 and 4, and they'll see the white flag. Final lap. Can Miles hold off the newcomer? Cars hitting the wall down the back straightaway here. And Drew's in the outside wall. As Miles able to get the run through 1 and 2. It was able to pull away through 3 and 4 as they're wrecking. And Miles going to take the win here in Vegas and get his first win of the season. Holding off Roethlisberger. Lewis third. Wells fourth. And Miles has said that his new tradition, going to the grass and doing burnouts. And that's what he's doing. And door in the wall. As Miles grenades the motor and goes to victory lane here tonight. The second race of the season. As he wins it over Roethlisberger by 0.3 of a second. Lewis gets third after looked like a little mayhem there in the last lap. We'll have to go back and see how that all transpired. But Colby Wells fourth, Kyle Ethier fifth, Ramsey sixth, Bryson, Dillon, Young, and Martin your top 10. Stringle ends up 11th, Melnick 12th, Giroux 13th. He was in the wall there in the last lap. 14th goes to Dean, and 15th to Zach Mertes. Cornwell 16th, Eurechio, Russo, Beaver, Alphin, Downing, Bowen, and unfortunately Telder last and out of the race in the 23rd position. And let's go back to the white flag lap here and see if we can find what happened back here. Yeah, it looked like they were stacked up here a little bit. Yeah, there's Bryson in the wall, couple of cars. Everybody hitting the wall. Oh, and then Giroux gets hit by Dom. Carnage, as per usual. As we will talk to our top three finishers. Starting with the boss man of the league here, Chris Lewis, gets himself a top three finish here tonight. Obviously, Chris, man, what a interesting race, obviously, with the votes to select the distance of the race, and had a long green flag run there. Comes down to the last 5 laps of the race, and a top three for you.
Yeah, that was incredible. There's strategies all over the place. I didn't know where we were going to come out. Kind of got lucky with that caution. Without that, I probably would have been 7th at best. But if I had 3 more laps, man, I would have had it.
Obviously, the racing, you mentioned the strategies. You had 3 sets of tires to work with. And, for me, it was kind of hard to keep up with. So I can understand how trouble it was out there. But talk about those last couple laps, because you had some pretty intense battles around you.
the last couple of laps, I just gave it everything I had. You had Bryson hitting the wall, Colby. He just didn't have it. Ethier didn't have it. They didn't have the tires. They pitted 5 laps before me. Yeah, I just everything I had. That's going for that first place, but we'll take third.
Right. Well, congratulations on that, and send some shout-outs, bud.
Awesome. Want to thank everybody watching tonight. Jesse Evans, Josh Dillon, Aaron Thomas, and Telder, of course. My mom, my dad, my aunt, they're watching. So hi to them and hi to everybody in Lake Placid, New York tonight. And just want to thank my team. Couldn't do it without my team. Love Miles, love Colby, love everybody.
He's a loving guy. Lake Placid, New York, hosted the Olympics once. Great job tonight, and yeah, we'll talk soon.
Thank you, buddy.
Absolutely. As Lewis finishes in the 3rd position here tonight, our 2nd place finisher, if he even knows that he usually gets interviewed, he might not know, is Zach Roethlisberger. We might check back in with him and see if he pops in the channel here or not. If not, otherwise, we'll get our winner up here and have a chat with him as Miles goes to victory lane here this evening, celebrating yet another win. Obviously, in this series here tonight, the restart, pretty key. They're getting by Ethier to obviously get that pass, and the fight with Roethlisberger at the end there was pretty wild.
Yeah, I say that was one of the best. Finishes or end of the race dramatics I had in a long time. So not a long time, a couple weeks, but hats off to Roethlisberger, Ethier, Lewis, those guys running up front, Mertez and those guys, because I'm pretty sure we put on a good show tonight. Unfortunately, about that last caution, I just wanted to see how it's going to end up with me, Ethier, and Roethlisberger right there at the end. Ethier said he was going to be able to make it. I didn't think they was going to be able to. So it was a good race.
Obviously, yeah, the caution kind of threw a little wrench into everything there, but you showed the long run speed that you usually do. But talk about the laps. Obviously, you did there was the vote today for the league. They voted 110 laps, which spread out the race a little bit more with the 3 sets of tires. How'd you feel about that?
I like long races. I believe in a lot of laps, fatigue, a long time to make a mistake or recoup from one. So this track threw a surprise for us. It had a lot of grip, unlike any other Vegas I've been at, and I knew we were gonna have a double stint of tires, but we didn't even think it was gonna have that much tire wear, and it really didn't after the first run. So I remember I forgot his name, but he kept 4 tires on and it blew by us, and we was wondering if it was gonna go green all the way to the end, and I was just sitting there riding the whole race behind Roethlisberger and them, because I know everybody fast, but when the tires wear out, then the cream gonna rise to the top. So, and that's what I tip my hat off to those guys, because they played it right. They saved their tires, and Ethier for making a comeback like he did. Hats off to him too. So I like it long like that, but it's what Lewis wants. It's his league, so whatever he do, we just have to do our best to race that format and win in it.
Absolutely. Well, great job tonight, man. Send some shout outs wherever you like to.
I want to appreciate. I want to thank my teammates, AB, Alvin, Lewis, Dean. Those guys supported me in and out, and they got my back to the end. So I couldn't have had a success without them. And I want to thank the league, thank the drivers for putting on a good show. It wasn't really like a caution fest or nothing. Pretty much everybody held their own. And thank you for broadcasting the race. And appreciate God and my girlfriend, man. And that'll be it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the win, adding to that record total.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
You too. Stephen Miles finishing in victory lane here tonight. Congratulations to him. And as he adds to that win total, as I mentioned, getting that first win of the season here in Vegas. So, yeah, not many cautions at all. Good racing amongst the crew there. And obviously, shouldn't be too many mad people. I actually moved you, Josh. I don't know if it worked or not, but who knows? I did my best, so it's all that matters. But no, great job. Appreciate all the viewers here tonight. Appreciate Lewis for allowing me to broadcast, as always. Having fun here tonight. And, yeah, that turned out to be a pretty good distance and some good racing there. So, otherwise, we'll go get ready for Chicagoland coming up Thursday night for TI Racing. Tomorrow night, GLSR at Sonoma. So, we're going to do some road racing tomorrow night. And that'll be the one road course race we have this week before we hit up Chicago on Thursday. So, should be fun. Appreciate everything that you guys do, the viewers. We'll do another little short video tomorrow on YouTube while I'm on break and go from there. But appreciate the racers tonight as always. And again, once again, to the viewers who checked us out here tonight. And yeah, it's always entertaining, I guess. So I'm going to go get some rest. I'm tired. So had a long day today. Anyways, let's head out. Remember, this is just a game. It's iRacing. See ya.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.
The following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.